There's the camera. I hit it and then it blinked off for a second. Good morning. Happy Monday to you. I hope that you had a fabulous weekend. I know I did. Congratulations to all the new members of the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame, including Shannon McCombs, my radio sister. I'm so glad that she is in, and we'll try to have a complete list for you and follow that coming up in the next week. We'll be doing a little tribute and maybe have an interview with some of those folks coming up here on Main Street, Nashville. Hey, you know what? I don't know if any of you have been paying attention to the news about crazy stuff going on with travel and new disease issues and mandates and all that kind of stuff. But the cool thing about Nashville is that a staycation here is awfully nice. If you do feel uncomfortable about getting on a plane or things like that, there's a wonderful place here in Nashville. And if you have kids, it's not the long drive they look forward to or the long plane. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? If you're in Nashville or you're in Middle Tennessee or you're in the state of Tennessee, a quick trip to the Gaylord Opryland is truly magical because this year they are practicing the Summer of More. The Summer of More has pirates and princesses. If you have kids, watch this next segment because there's an idea for you for a perfect family vacation. We all know the Gaylord Resort and Convention Center in Nashville is a great place to stay, but did you know this summer it's transformed into a princess fairyland or a pirate treasure ship searching for the blue diamond. They have royal tea parties every afternoon that you can be a part of. They have got live action characters wandering the hotel, ready to take pictures and to do meet and greets with your kids at all the selfie stations around the hotel. There are wonderful boat rides and places to take pictures and little cute things that kids just love to see. It's an adventure every single day, whether it's morning or whether it's night. There are wonderful choreographed water attractions. There are walkthroughs with parents. There are boat rides for the entire family that are filled with adventure. Speaking of adventure, how about sound waves or the arcade? There are wonderful, fun things that everybody can do.
So other than the Pirate Princess Academy where we are now, you can find the characters all over the hotel. We do the royal tea with myself, Princess Magnolia, and my sister Pearl. You'll see pirates out strolling around throughout the hotel sometimes. Sometimes myself or Pearl might show up at the Lost Voyage boat show, which is pretty fun.
And then at night, all of our pesky pirates come out and we battle over the blue diamond. It is quite an adventurous show, and so half of our audience is actually on a boat ride beforehand, and the other half get to watch from all around.
I hope that you saw those discounts. Check out with GaylordOpryland.com. And if you are here, and I love that they have these wonderful packages, like if you just want to take a little girls trip on a Friday afternoon, let's just say they've got some discounts for you. If you live in Davidson County, up to 40% off at Soundwaves. Pretty cool, huh? I like to tell you all the things going on in Middle Tennessee. And if you've ever been to a hot air balloon festival, it's fascinating and it's wonderful and beautiful setting on the lake in Hendersonville. If you want details, it's coming up this weekend. So this is definitely a save the date for making your weekend plans.
Hendersonville Area Chamber of Commerce would like to invite you to join us on August 7th for Sumner Fest, the city's premier hot air balloon festival for all of Sumner County. We're excited. It's on August 7th from 5 to 9 p.m. at Sanders Ferry Park. Mark your calendar today because this is going to be a free family fun event that you will not want to miss. Join us for hot air balloons, live entertainment, food, vendors galore, and so much more for you and your family to enjoy. Again, visit sumnerfest.com for more information or call the chamber at 615-824-2818 to reserve your vendor booth today. August 7th, Sumnerfest. It's a date and an event you won't want to miss.
And if I'm not mistaken, they have one balloon left with a corporate chance for a corporation to sponsor one balloon and have your name in there and take people up in your balloon. It's tethered. So it's not something dangerous or scary. Well, it might be a little scary for some people if you're being 10 feet off the ground. But if you'd like to be part of a tethered balloon ride and have your name, I think there's one chance left. So get in touch with the Hendersonville Chamber if you'd like to be a part of that. But if you are not wanting to sponsor and you just want to go, it's going to be very cool right there on the lake in Hendersonville. I got so many people who reached out to me and said, hey, I wish there had been a little bit more done for Bill Anderson on the Opry, celebrating 60 years on the Opry. I just saw Bill, and he was at the benefit on the Huckabee show that we did for Keith Bilbrey. It's always good to see Bill Anderson. He is so funny, and he has a private joke between he and I that we laugh every single time. He is a great host, an incredible performer. He just has the people right there. But I tell you what, when his real power comes to fruition, it is when he is holding a pen and that yellow legal pad and that guitar, and he writes, oh my gosh, Whiskey Lullaby and Teardrops from Heaven, and just song after song after song he has given us and people have recorded. But nobody tells the story better than my TV sister from RFD, Tammy Arender. Take a look. She profiled Bill, and I just don't think anybody could have done a better job.
There's an electricity that fills the room when the curtains go up at the Grand Ole Opry. On this night, it was even more so. A packed house on hand to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Bill Anderson being a member of this legendary institution. Anderson has had hit songs on the radio as a songwriter in the past 5 decades, from City Lights to Once a Day by Connie Smith, to Teardrops by Steve Wariner, Whiskey Lullaby, Brad Paisley and Alison Krauss, Give It Away, George Strait, Which Bridge to Cross, Vince Gill. Too many to mention.
You know, I wrote for the first 30 years or so that I was in Nashville. I wrote basically by myself. And I discovered this thing called co-writing back in the middle 90s. And I thought I could never do that. I can't go into a room with another writer, make an appointment and sit down, okay, at 10 o'clock in the morning you become creative. I thought I couldn't do that. But doggone if I didn't kind of learn how to do it. And that's the way that the young ones want to write today. And Vince Gill was the first one that took me in and kind of showed me the process. And he treated me so kind that I realized, hey, this could really be fun. John Barry and I have more things in common than you might ever realize.
Anderson is seen often on RFD TV through Country's Family Reunion, showing his talent not only as a singer and songwriter, but a TV host as well. Anderson hosted his own national TV show from 1965 to 1974. On this July night at the Opry, Vince Gill, Sarah Evans, Mark Wills, and Jeannie Seeley all pay homage to the country music legend. Bill wrote a very personal song called Thankful for this occasion, and there was hardly a dry eye in the auditorium.
Thankful I'm in Nashville, the town I love. By listening to the words, I mean, I wrote it kind of about me, for me, and for the people. Just so thankful and so blessed. That whole evening was just kind of the culmination of 60 years being a part of the Opry family.
Ooh, Ooh, that is one of my favorite songs Bill has ever written. And you can get Bill's album. It's the latest one that he did. It's 2 years ago, but the song Thankful, I'm telling you, it's his story. But if you really pay attention to the words, like all good songwriters, they have a way of reading your mail. And if you've ever wanted to tell someone how thankful you are for them and for them being with you, it's a really, really great song. Check out or download Bill Anderson and get just anything he's got. I mean, the songs are just going to be there, right there. Hey, this weekend, Backstage Nashville was incredible. And the incredible Heidi Newfield and Matt King were on stage together. And I got to talk backstage to Matt. Now, we didn't get to talk with him live on the show last week like we did Heidi, but we will in the next coming weeks. He's got a project and he and Heidi are part of it, but Ray Wiley Hubbard is as well. Just a little sneak peek I want to share with you about Matt King. Take a look at this.
Hear that crow call, lost my faith in Arkansas. I ain't doing what I oughta, midnight oil and holy water.
Nice sweet talk, the devil's daughter, midnight oil and holy water.
Fire is close and getting hotter, midnight oil and holy water.
I just want to encourage you, if you like grooving music like that, he's been writing a lot for film and television, and that kind of steeps into his music right now. But there's kind of this funky kind of a storytelling vibe that he always has been able to get. Great singer from North Carolina. I've known him from him singing demos in this town for everybody and getting his record deal and then moving on to bigger than the Nashville sound to film and television. Hopefully we'll get to talk to him in the coming weeks. Hey, standing by in our waiting room, we have got somebody very, very special, part of a group called the Mighty Trainwrecks. I'm going to give you an idea what they sound like before we talk to Christopher Floyd, because they are fantastic. If you like that, like me, I love great live music that's got kind of a rough edge to it. Just kind of makes you, kind of sucks you in there, and you have just such a great time. We're going to find the story about how this group came to be. But first, now we don't own the rights to this, but they are my friends over at Today in Nashville. They captured a really wonderful live performance with these guys. I want to share it with you now.
Train, roll on train, chug a love away, down that Louisville line. These boxcar blues ain't no friend of mine. Train, roll on train. Sweet Josephine, baby, I love you. But this old railroad is the only life I know. I've been riding this rail since the day I was born. Carolina to San Francisco, Tucson to Ohio. Train, roll on train, chug a lug me away, down that Louisville line. These boxcar blues ain't no friends of mine. Train, roll on train. Come on, freight train. Josephine, I know you're missing me. I'm gonna throw a little coal on the fire, then we'll build up steam. Meet me at the tracks at 2:45. And when you hear that whistle blowing, I'll be back in Tennessee. Train, roll on train, chug a lug me away, down that Louisville boxcar blues ain't no friend of mine. Train, roll on train. Train.
Yeah.
Love my friends over there at Today in Nashville. Freight Train. Christopher, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Devin. I'm so honored to be on your show. Thank you so much.
You know, we've been trying to do this for a long time. We've been working it out. But, you know, and you've already got your fans calling. My friend Skip, who is watching today in Colorado. He's like, I know he was a fan because he was a big proponent and always telling me about the great music at Bobby's Idle Hour.
Right.
And you guys were a mainstay there.
Yes, we played there for every Wednesday night for 4 years. As soon as they went non-smoking, and then till basically we all had to go. So
Yeah. Well, now have you played at the new? Have you even been in the new Bobby's Idle Hour? Because people don't know. It's a big deal here. When Bobby's Idle Hour left Music Row, they got bought out. The property was bought, like a lot of places are, but they did rebuild and go to someplace else.
yes, they're still on Music Row. They're only about 2 or 3 blocks down. They've been open for a while now. I have not been in there yet, but they had a big grand opening show just a couple about a week ago that went really well. All the how do I want to say this? All the usual suspects were there. So
Good.
So he's doing well. We donated, to their GoFundMe because he was really struggling for a while to get that open. So
Right. Amazing job that you do. Now, I want to tell you, people are talking about how you play a harmonica. There's something about, can we tell what you do for a living? Can we share what people,
Absolutely.
because I am so
Absolutely.
proud during the pandemic, professional drivers saved our lives. Really, truly. Tell people what you do for a living.
Well, I'm a trucker. I've been trucking for 35 years, off and on, mostly on, and 2 million plus miles under my belt. I owned my own rig for 17 years. I went out of business, and I drive for another guy, and we pull what's called intermodal freight out of the CSX Row Yard in Nashville. And I've got a pretty sweet deal. I'm home every night, very flexible every weekend. But we still work really hard. I'll be honest with you. It's a pretty hard job.
It is a grueling job, and I want to take this time to tell people, first of all, thank you. You were in service to our country as much as anybody in military was or anything, because when it went into pandemic, truckers were carrying loads and they were unpacking them. People don't realize you don't have a whole crew that helps you unpack, really. I mean, it's up to you to load and unload too. Really, isn't that on you as well?
Well, actually, I have a great gig. I have a there's guys that you're exactly right about. We have no touch freight. So I just drive and handle, the equipment. But still, we got to interact with people. We were interacting with people at warehouses on a regular basis, all of that, trying to be careful, wearing masks, that whole deal. So,
Well, it was hard, because people were, you could go to a drive-through, but it's not you can't drive to just any drive-through if you're in a big old truck, so eating and stuff, going to the bathroom. I mean, that caused its own set of problems because there wasn't a place to stop.
yeah, and you know what? Not all shippers and receivers are very kind or fair about that. Most of them are, but it's kind of a drag. But yeah, that's challenging. I promise you.
Well, I just thank you for what you did, because there's not one thing in our homes today that wasn't touched by a truck or a professional driver. Not one thing.
Absolutely. It's a thankless job oftentimes. And so thank you for saying that. And you're absolutely right.
Well, I've been the host for over 30 years now of a trucking audio magazine called The Driver. And It's an audio magazine. And so I've been keeping up with the truckers for a long time, but during the pandemic, it was especially hard. Let's talk a little bit. Was that something that, I mean, it's driving a truck or working on a train. Harmonica playing is usually part of those two things, you know? So is that how you started playing the harp?
No, I started playing the harmonica, back in 1979, and I was 16 years old, and it was really quite by accident. I was, put it mildly, quite the wild child in 1979 at 16 years old. It wasn't really. I didn't really get really good on it until I got clean and sober in 1984. So it took a while, but I played, and I certainly played by the railroad tracks and in the woods, and nobody wanted to hear me play unless they were all drunk.
Well, that's not the case anymore. That is not the case anymore. Hey, we're going to play a clip. You came to visit me when I was on WSM, and it was so much fun. So we're going to share a clip of that right now. The Mighty Trainwrecks. We're going to find out how the group came to be when we talk more with Freight Train, aka Christopher, when we get back. Releasing a book. I love him too. Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you, Lexi Carter, for bringing us that. And we have got the Mighty Trainwrecks live in studio, and we're going to hear a little bit of an idea of what they sound like. If you go to Bobby's Idle Hour, if you tour Nashville, every tour bus stops there, every single one of them. And on Wednesdays, you can see the Mighty Trainwrecks. We've got Eddie, we've got Robin, we've got Freight Train, Ben and Tom, all gathered around microphones to do a little thing that we call the band in the window.
Coming home tonight.
Trainwrecks. More from them. Woo! What a fantastic song, and brought you up to the vocal mic, and because you guys kind of trade off who sings lead on what song. You're a true band in that, and I'm a girl. My era is the '70s. And it brings back all that feeling of all those. When we all hung out in Volkswagen vans and Chevy vans and went to festivals and heard live music.
Yes, we with Eddie Paul, we're influenced by, and I love all these guys too. I mean, Merle Haggard and Jimmy Rogers, that sort of thing. Waylon Jennings, stuff that's kind of his side of things. And then with me, although I love all kinds of old time country music, everything, but we were heavily influenced, Ben and I, with the Grateful Dead, the Allman Brothers, Little Feat, the band. So to have you say that, this means the world. It means the world.
I feel it. It feels so good. And that your band, first of all, I've got to send that song out to Linda Sanders, who's probably watching.
Yes.
And Linda is such a fan of yours, and she is so glad. I'm going to tell you, I haven't talked to her, but I know she's going to be really happy to be able to watch this show because she's a huge fan of yours.
Well, she's done a lot for us, just like you have. I mean, I need to say this, Devin. I mean, this when you gave us that opportunity in 2017 to be on your show, I mean, I owe you. I have a forever debt to you. I so appreciate that. It was a huge thing for me. I've been in Nashville since '89, and Linda helped us get on the Channel 4 thing, so we owe her a lot too. But to just be on your show, Devin, and I've known you. I've listened to you on the radio ever since I came to town. I got some crocodile tears working here. I'm a truck driver, so I'm not gonna let all that go. But you know what I mean?
I might, because you're making me tear up too. So thank you for that. There was
let me just say this. I wrote that song with Chad Rowland, amazing songwriter. He was a fan of the band, and I write a lot of, Eddie and I write most of the songs for the band with our co-writers. Ben has actually started writing some great stuff too, so we're starting to put his material in. But Chad, in true song Nashville writer, found a hook that he thought would be cool for the band, and then he invited me in, and that's how we came up with Anna Lee. And if you notice, Anna Lee there's the band The Wait. Anna Lee is one of the characters in The Wait, so that wasn't I want to go too far with all that, but so we wanted to have a little bit of that vibe. And that is, I write songs with all kinds of people, Scott Barrier, Robin Ruddy, and some songs take 18, 20 hours or more to write. Chad and I had that done, no more edits, in 3 hours. It just came out of us. So.
And it feels like it's a song that's been around forever. That's a good song. It's a song that you start singing along with and feeling it. You mentioned Robin Ruddy, that wonderful, beautiful woman who was playing the slide in that. She is her dobro work, her steel guitar work in this town is legend. And she just lost this year. I call him, he was the gateway. He was the maestro to invite people into this town and gave more people their dreams than anyone. And that is her husband, Larry Sheridan, who passed away very recently. And we love him with all our hearts. And
yes,
Robin, just want to let her know that we are all loving her and sending her prayers and healing, because it's hard to feel where someone who he cast a long shadow.
Yes, absolutely. I was blessed to have got to know him over the years. I mean, Robin really took me under her wing, as she does. I mean, they both did that to a lot of people. She was more the catalyst for me. But I got to know Larry through many years of doing that. They did we would sing carols to people at Christmas time, just with all these great songs.
It was so beautiful. You'd go up and down Music Row and sing carols and go to different neighborhoods around there. It was really, really beautiful. And had a message from Mark, who's down in Alabama. Thank you for your service, sir. Appreciate keeping the wheels turning, keeping us moving. Thank you very, very much. And also, awesome song. Love it. Thank you for all the folks who were checking in, like Steve and Mark and Jackson and EB, who I know will be watching this. we have our regulars who listen and they share. Make sure that you share about the Mighty Trainwrecks. Tell people where they can find you and where you'll be playing.
Okay, well, we're coming out for before the pandemic hit. We were playing all the Puckett's locations in Nashville, which is a great gig for us because we're not playing. To be honest with you, we're not playing. We're struggling. We're trying to, but we've been practicing. We had 3 hours of all original material before the pandemic hit, and now we have 4. We're in the studio recording our sophomore release over there with Brady Spencer, Brady and Lisa. We're working. Great drummer. And so you can find us on Reverb Nation, the Mighty Trainwrecks. We have a very small YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube page. It's it's tough to get subscribers. We're on Facebook as the Mighty Trainwrecks, but there's 2 pages. One that we don't have any control over. That's a long story. The one that we are actively on has a flaming train going off the bridge as the main picture. So it's pretty much just music page on Facebook, YouTube, the Mighty Trainwrecks, and Reverb Nation as well.
Where's your next gig? Do you have one planned, or are we going to have to just wait and see?
We really have to wait and see, to be honest with you. We were going to do WDVX, the Blue Plate Special, which we've done one time before.
Yeah.
Also a great honor to be on there. I mean, those guys were Americana before Americana even was called Americana. And we're just not comfortable right now. And they make things. Yeah. So we don't have anything. We're just in the studio. August the 14th. Ben's going to do 2 of his. Ben has been writing some amazing songs. Oh my God, he's so good. And Eddie as well. So really, I just can't wait for you guys to hear it. I mean, we got the first record, Born at Bobby's. There you go. There's that. It's the more acoustic side of us, as you saw on the Channel 4 TV. That was the more electric side.
Yeah.
And then what you saw on your show is our softer acoustic side. So we're both. The next record will be, electric.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're getting a request to play Puckett's in Chattanooga. Mark says he and Suzanne will be there.
Put in a good word to Ricky Armentrout, and we'll come down there.
You got it. Well, thank you for your time today. Be safe when you're out there. And everybody right now is kind of, up in the air about what's next for live music and how things open up, they close up. They open up, they close up. So just whatever you do, I tell everybody at the close of this show, be safe, be kind, and remember that you are loved. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, Kevin. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.